I've downloaded all of MrBeast's data to analyze how he went from 4,000 subscribers in July 2015 to 400 million subscribers in just under 10 years. The data shows that there were three distinct phases. The first was initial success, which ended in January 2018 when he had 2 million subscribers. Then everything changed from February 2018 in the consolidation phase, which lasted until October 2022 when he had 109 million subscribers. And everything changed once more from November 2022 onwards in the final stage of global domination, in which MrBeast became the most subscribed to YouTube channel and now has 400 million subscribers. Okay, he actually only has 397 million subscribers as I'm recording this on the 23rd of May, but he will have 400 million by the end of the month, the first week of June at the latest, especially with his giveaway of $50,000 to 10 lucky subscribers to his channel. It's actually quite fitting that the story of MrBeast's road to 400 million subs is capped off by a large subscriber giveaway, because giving away large amounts of money is largely what launched his channel into the mainstream in the first place. If we go back to 2016 and 2017 when his channel was first really taking off, you can see that there were some months where the new subscriber growth towered over the other months. In September 2017, nearly 300,000 people subscribed to MrBeast's channel, immediately following this video titled Tipping Uber Drivers $10,000, which was published on the 30th of August 2017. June 2017 was almost as good as September 2017, and in the middle of June he posted the video called Giving a Random Homeless Man $10,000, which is a video that comes up a lot when MrBeast talks about his origin story. Obviously, giving away money wasn't the only format that gave him early success. That spike in new subscribers in February 2017 followed a video in January 2017 called I Counted to 100,000. And the spike in December 2016 followed a video called I Mailed Myself in a Box and It Really Worked, Human Mail Challenge. We obviously now know that MrBeast would go on to make lots of successful videos using these two topics, initially separately, but then his biggest videos would be the ones that combined the two topics of giving away a lot of money and ridiculous but entertaining mental and physical challenges. But at the time, back in 2016-2017, these were just emerging as being successful topics from amongst a myriad of topics that he was experimenting with. You can see the hundreds of videos he had posted leading up to 2016 and 2017. In the middle of 2015, there was a stretch of 6 months where he was basically posting 20 to 40 videos per month. What surprised me initially when looking at this graph of total videos uploaded per month was that halfway into 2016, and even more so in 2017, MrBeast massively reduced the number of videos he was putting out. The reason this surprised me was that I thought his growing success would have motivated him to put out more content rather than reduce it. But I was thinking about it the wrong way around. His success was the result of narrowing down his content to the types of videos which worked best, and putting all his effort into making them even better, rather than spreading himself thinly by making a ton of videos across a range of different video types. There's also something else that changed at the same time, which must have contributed to the reduction in the number of videos produced per month, and this was the duration of each video. Almost all his videos before 2016 were only a few minutes long, with only 12 videos longer than 10 minutes. Then on the 1st of February 2016, he publishes Counting to 10,000 in one sitting, which is 3 hours, 29 minutes and 41 seconds long. So that's 210 minutes long, a lot longer than his other videos, but nowhere near as long as 24-hour Explosion Giveaway Win Gift Cards, published on the 5th of September 2016, and was 1 day and 2 seconds long, so 1,440 minutes long. There were about 4 videos in 2016 and 2017 that were basically a day in length, one that was 17 hours long, 3 that were 10 hours long, and another 3 that were over an hour in length. The most obvious thing to say is that a 24-hour long video takes more planning, execution, and editing than a 3-minute long video of similar quality. So it's no wonder that the number of videos he produced per month declined at the same time that he started making these super long videos. But the more important insight to draw from them is how extreme MrBeast was when it came to experimenting with different formats. Sure, these ultra long videos are ancient history. He might have done one more in 2018, so it's a dead experiment. But what you can't see from this graph is what's happening in the bulk of videos at the bottom, because these extremely long videos blow out the scale of the vertical axis. If I change these ultra long video durations to only 50 minutes, then the graph becomes readable again. And what you see is that the duration is also increasing for the bulk of his more normal videos. This trend becomes super obvious if we let the graph play into 2018, and you can see that the new normal for MrBeast is videos which are 10 to 20 minutes long rather than less than 5 minutes. So even though ultra long videos are a thing of the past, he must have learned a lot about his audience in the process. And that had a lasting impact on how he comes up with ideas for videos and thinks about their format and structure. So we've looked at the period up to January 2018 in which MrBeast started to have real initial success, growing his total subscribers from 15,000 at the start of 2016 to just over 2 million by the end of January 2018. But then everything changed from February 2018 and continued on the same trend until the 20th of October 2022, as he consolidated and built on these initial successes. He's basically gaining somewhere between 1 and 2 million subscribers per month. You can see as the bars for new subscribers got much taller at the start of 2018, the darker blue line for total channel subscribers got much steeper, almost like there's an elbow in the line. So at the start of 2018, his channel had 2 million subscribers. And by the end of 2018, it had grown by 11 million subscribers to 13 million. It grew by 15 million in 2019 to 28 million, grew by 22 million in 2020 to 50 million, and grew by 37 million in 2021 to 87 million. In the 10 months from January to the end of October 2022, total channel subscribers grew by 22 million to 109 million. Now, if we ignore that skyscraper bar of new subscribers in November 2021 for a moment, although if you've been following MrBeast for a while, you'll probably be able to work out what that was. But the general trend after the big step up at the beginning of 2018 all the way through to October 2022 is very strong growth, which has slowly but steadily accelerated over the period. And it's not just true for subscribers, but also for total views on the channel. You can see that same initial step up in performance from the start of 2018 in new views that was present for new subscribers, and then solid performance through to October 2022. There are a couple months where views seem weirdly low, even negative, but those are probably just months where videos had been deleted from the catalogue as the channel grew and the whole catalogue of videos began to be scrutinized both by audiences as well as sponsors. So very impressive growth, growing the channel by 2 million subscribers and 500 million views per month for several years, reaching over 100 million subscribers and 20 billion views. And that's 20 billion views before Shorts started confusing that metric. Well, actually he had 2 shorts by the end of October 2022. I Am the World's Greatest Samurai, published in September 2020, and The Rock vs. MrBeast for $100,000, published in October 2022. Those 2 shorts have just over 1 billion views now, but back in October 2022, they would have only had a fraction of these views, and almost all of the 20 billion views on the channel at this point would have been from long-form videos. So what's that skyscraper in new subscribers in November 2021? Those 10 million new subscribers came in the same month that MrBeast published $456,000 Squid Game in real life, and I don't think that's a coincidence. New views were 600 million in each of November and December 2021. The only month with more than that by this point in time was April 2021 with 700 million new views. So channel views was elevated after the Squid Game video, but not to the same degree that new subscribers was elevated. This suggests that the video reached a new audience, or if they were already aware of MrBeast, this video converted them into subscribers in a way that previous videos didn't. Okay, Squid Games aside, what else changed over this period to generate this kind of success? Well, I've already shown you the shift in video duration that happened from the start of 2018 into videos you can really sink your teeth into with durations between 10 and 20 minutes. And that is the rule he stuck to for the whole period. And what this is really saying, more than the video duration, is that the nature of the videos MrBeast was producing changed into videos with more substance, that had enough intrigue and suspense to keep you captivated for 15 minutes. It's a completely different channel to what he had before 2018. I think of MrBeast's channel before 2018 as just market research and experimentation with his potential audience, and maybe something like a soft launch of his content, but his channel, in its current form, actually started properly in 2018. And that's what you see in the subscriber and view numbers. But some other things also changed over this time. We saw that the volume of long-form videos published per month fell quite drastically in 2016 and 2017, but once MrBeast had settled on the format and feel of his videos, volume increased again in 2018 and 2019, but then halved in 2020 and fell a bit more until the point that he was only publishing 1 or 2 videos per month in 2022. What happens from the second half of 2019 is that the quality and scale of the videos steps up massively. That includes the prize money, the building of sets, and the production quality of videos. This focus on quality at the cost of quantity and recycling revenue into bigger and bigger video budgets is really what kept his channel ahead of the competition over this period when lots of people were launching channels on YouTube. Something else that I think is quite interesting to look at is how the time of day and day of week that MrBeast's videos go live has changed over time. The time of day is on the vertical axis in Eastern Standard Time and is in 24-hour or military time, or whatever you want to call it. So the dots along the 12 line are videos published at midday, dots on the 16 line are videos published at 4 in the afternoon, and dots halfway between the 20 and 24 are videos published at 2200 hours or 10 in the evening. The color of the dots tells you the day of the week that the video was published. And so far on this graph through to 2016, it's just a big pile of mashed potato. There are no patterns to read into. But then in 2017 and 2018, they remain multicolored, but they start to mostly fall between 16 and 2000 hours. And then they start to make straight lines, first at 1800 hours, then 1700 hours, and then 1600 hours, where it seems to stick at from around 2019 onwards. So that by October 2022, he's only posting long-form videos at 4 in the afternoon, except for a few exceptions. Also, around the time that he settled on 4 p.m. being the best time to post videos in 2019, the dots start to mainly be light blue with some pink and yellows and 1 orange and 1 green. And the closer we get to October 2022, the more concentrated those light blue ones become. If you were a huge MrBeast fan in 2021 and 2022, you would have known that his videos come out on Saturday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever that time is where you are, but pretty much always at that time. Sure, we just saw on the graph with the number of videos per month that he was mostly doing 1 or 2 videos per month at this point. So you wouldn't expect a video every Saturday at 4 p.m, but you would check at that time to see if he had released one that week or not. Now, I haven't ever seen robust evidence showing that the day of week and time of day that your video goes live materially impacts the long-term performance of a video. But I've also never seen evidence disproving this. Maybe I should build a statistical model to test it myself, but that would be a topic for another video. Let me know in the comments if you think it is an important issue for a video's performance, and if so, why do you think this might be the case? But it does seem from this graph that MrBeast experimented with this in a very structured way. And the experiment must have yielded the result that posting on Saturdays at 4 p.m. produced some benefit. Otherwise, why would he stick to it so fervently? What happens next in this graph is actually even more interesting. But before we get to what happens after October 2022, we first have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. And that's that a lot of MrBeast's growth over this period has nothing to do with the good strategic decisions he's made and everything to do with growth in the platform itself. You see, from 2018 to 2022, the total number of active monthly users on YouTube grew from 1.8 billion to 2.7 billion, which if you combine that with growth in the average time spent on YouTube per day of 15%, is growth in aggregate demand of 72.5%, which is huge. Of course, MrBeast's subscribers grew from 2 million to 109 million over the same period, which is 5,450% growth. And that's before what I imagine would have been a sizable increase in his video's average view duration. So it completely eclipses the platform growth, but I still wouldn't underestimate the impact of platform growth on MrBeast's success over this time period. But that now neatly brings us to the third phase, what I've called global domination. So let's see what happens from November 2022 onwards. There's some rapid growth in November and December 2022, but that reverses in the 3 months to March 2023, before jumping up again to 10 million new subscribers in April 2023. And from then on, every month looks like a Squid Games month. So what was a massive outlier month of success, November 2021, where the Squid Games video added 10 million new subscribers, has become the new average month from November 2022 onwards. And it wasn't just in terms of new subscribers either. You can see the same thing happens with views on his channel. And it wasn't a gradual shift slowly over time. For a few years leading up to October 2022, the channel was adding about 2 million new subscribers each month. with a couple of outlier months of 4 or 5 million new subscribers and one massive outlier month for that period at 10 million. And then from November 2022 onwards, the average new subscribers is closer to 10 million, with a few below average months at 4, 5 or 6 million new subs, and a moderate outlier at 18 million new subscribers in October 2023, and a huge outlier of 27 million new subscribers in June 2024. It was actually on the 1st of June 2024 that MrBeast, with 267 million subscribers, became the most subscribed to YouTube channel, surpassing T-Series with 266 million subscribers. And in late May, MrBeast had posted a short called Giving 1,000 Phones Away, which, as the name suggests, was a massive subscriber giveaway. So the huge growth in June 2024 was probably the result of a combination of fans propelling MrBeast into first place on YouTube and the momentum that creates, alongside the tried and tested subscriber giveaway. But that's just an outlier. What explains the structural step up from November 2022 onwards? It's like his channel just found a higher gear out of nowhere. The most obvious answer is shorts. Sure, his first short was I Am the World's Greatest Samurai back in September 2020, so long before November 2022, but then he didn't publish another short until The Rock vs. MrBeast for $100,000 on the 21st of October 2022, and that's when the shorts floodgates opened. If we look at total long-form videos published per month leading up to October 2022, the average was 1 or 2 videos per month, and that's the way it's been ever since. Maybe a few months with 3 videos, but mostly just bouncing around 1 video every, say, 2 weeks. But if we add in the shorts published per month, all of a sudden, the graph looks completely different from October 2022 onwards, with the extra 100 shorts videos added to it. And it's not just that the number of shorts outnumbered the number of long-form videos 2-to-1 since October 2022, they're getting serious views too. Of the 66 billion views on MrBeast's channel since the start of October 2022, about 60% have come from shorts. As brilliant as MrBeast is with shorts, I don't think that this is the most important factor driving the growth on his channel since October 2022. And I say this for 2 reasons. The first is that I've got the data suggesting it's something else. And the second is, well, MrBeast kind of said so himself. He told Mark Zuckerberg while on the Colin and Samir show that the very first thing he would change on Facebook would be to enable multi-language dubbing on video. This was by far the most important thing. YouTube added this functionality in February 2023, but tested it with select creators back in 2022, MrBeast being one of them. Before having multi-language dubbing on MrBeast's main channel, he had multiple channels such as MrBeast en Español, one for each language into which he dubbed his videos. Then, in October 2022, he started having dubbed languages available on his main channel videos. And in December 2022, MrBeast put out a video on each of his other language channels that videos would no longer be uploaded to those channels, but instead people should watch his videos on his main channel in their preferred language. But how can we really know that multi-language dubbing contributed more to MrBeast's success since November 2022 than shorts? It's really difficult to tell because both these things happened at the same time in late October 2022. But if we look at each long-form video's total views, with the date the video was published on the horizontal axis, then we get a sense of this massive structural step-up that took place on the channel. And what makes this graph so compelling is that the videos which have an order of magnitude more views than the other videos are not the ones published from late October 2022 onwards. You can see from this graph that the big step up was on videos published from as far back as the second half of 2018. And the slowing down in views on videos published in the last 6 months to a year on the right of the graph is just because those videos are younger and so haven't had as much time to gain as many views. As an aside, you can also see in this graph the long form video of MrBeast's most likely to be his first to reach 1 billion views, which is of course his Squid Games video, currently on almost 800 million views and climbing. Okay, so why is it that showing that the long-form videos, which have structurally higher views, are from late 2018, rather than when both shorts and multi-language dubbing went live on MrBeast's channel in October 2022? Well, just because MrBeast started using multi-language dubbing from October 2022 onwards, doesn't mean that he was restricted to only rolling it out on new videos published from then onwards. He could go into his back catalogue of videos and add dub language tracks to older videos. I've pulled the data on every dub language on each of MrBeast's long-form videos, so I can see how extensively he has gone back into his back catalogue to do this. Currently, all his videos published before 2018 are only available in English. And then in early 2018, there's one which is dubbed into 12 languages in addition to the original English, so 13 altogether. One more just before mid-2018, this time in 12 languages altogether. And then from mid-2018, you start to get more and more videos available with dubbed tracks. There are two clusters of videos by total languages available. Those with 12 to 15 languages, which are videos published mostly from the second half of 2018 to 2022-ish. And then another level at 21 to 23 languages, which is what the most recent videos have, but also going back to 2020 and a couple in 2019 at this level. This difference and the overlap in the clusters is because he keeps adding new dub languages and then has to roll them back through his back catalogue. But he does it strategically, prioritizing the videos getting the most views still, with possibly some thought around what will perform well in the new languages he's just added. Everything he does has a layer of strategic thinking to it. He doesn't just add a new language to his dubbing portfolio and roll it back systematically from the most recent video backwards. But more important than this insight is to look at how the languages available correlates with the views on each video by publication date, and it's clear as day that it all kicks off from mid-2018 onwards. Of course, all these extra views on videos back to mid-2018 generated by the multi-language dubbing don't happen back then. The views start happening from October 2022 onwards and ramp up as MrBeast adds new languages to the list and rolls them back through his back catalogue. So that's why the wave in new channel performance kicks off from late October 2022, even though part of what's driving that wave are long-form videos going back to 2018. I think he also changed the time of day his videos go live to complement the multi-language strategy. Back in 2018, he narrowed down the time of day his videos go live to 6 p.m, 5 p.m, and 4 p.m, ultimately deciding on 4 p.m. And he also narrowed down the day of week to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, ultimately settling on Saturday. He stuck very closely to publishing at 4 p.m. on Saturdays right up through 2022, with very few exceptions. And then, on Saturday the 10th of June 2023, he published $1 versus $1 billion yacht at 12 noon. And every single video since then has been published at that same time of day, and all but one were published on a Saturday. So what would make MrBeast make such a big change without any experimentation or data to back it up? I obviously don't know what was going through MrBeast's head back in June 2023 when this happened, but I do know that he takes a very data-centered approach to making such decisions, so I simply can't believe that it was just on a whim. The earliest evidence of MrBeast's data-driven approach is with video title length. He's spoken several times about how in the early days he made a scatter plot of videos' views against title length, and it clearly had a massive impact. His title length in the early years was all over the place, with short one-word titles with fewer than 10 characters, up to long sentences, a couple even hitting the 100-character limit. But in the second half of 2017, they start to tighten up a lot, although there are still quite a few videos with titles between 50 and 75 characters all the way up to early 2021. However, since then, all his video titles have been shorter than 50 characters in length, and none have had super short 1 or 2 word titles either. So if MrBeast is this pedantic about video title length, and I mean that as a huge compliment, then his shift from publishing all his videos on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Saturdays at midday is crying out for a logical explanation. Although there is no experimentation visible in this graph, as there was back in 2018, he did have data. He had the data from his other language channels. So with this data, and the first half a year's worth of data from having all his videos dubbed on a single channel, he might have had all the evidence he needed to know that it was optimal to bring his publication time earlier by 4 hours. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is 10 p.m. in Central Europe, and even late in Eastern Europe. So publishing 4 hours earlier means he'd catch more people in Europe on a Saturday before going to sleep, without making it a weird time of day for viewers in the Americas. Look, I could be completely wrong, and MrBeast had an entirely different reason for changing the time that his videos go live. But if I was a betting man, I'd put money on it being something to do with targeting faster acceleration in views from his international audience after a new long-form video goes live. So if we take all of this evidence together, the fact that MrBeast has said that a multi-language strategy is critical, the correlation of video views with the number of languages available on the video, and the change in the operational process, the time a video goes live, specifically to complement the multi-language strategy, altogether suggests to me that the multi-language strategy was the primary driver of the success since November 2022, and Shorts is only a secondary driver of it. What are the chances that MrBeast or one of his clones watches this video and lets me know whether or not I'm right about multi-language dubbing being more important than Shorts in driving the success over the last few years? Well, either way, whether I'm right or wrong, the most important takeaway from all of this analysis, from the early days of initial successes through the consolidation phase and now into the world domination phase, is that MrBeast has built robust structures and processes to collect and analyze data and use that for decision making to optimize performance of his channel. And he didn't wait until he was successful to do these things. He used it as directions on the road to success.